Welcome to Training Minutes. I'm Jim Crawford, Assistant Fire Chief at the Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire. In this episode, we're going to talk about changeovers and assessments. The first one we're going to do is the regulator swap. If I could have my rescuers come over. One rescuer will position themselves on the facepiece side of the body. The second rescuer position themselves on the cylinder side of the body. What we're going to do is, the first thing, we will shut the pass device off because these two will not be able to communicate with each other. Once that's shut off, the next thing we need to do is check for breathing. We get our ear right down to the facepiece, listen for breathing.
He's breathing.
Good. If he's not breathing, we want to do an immediate removal. If he is breathing, the next thing we need to do is check the cylinder pressure gauge to see how much air is in the cylinder. This rescuer would get his face right down to the cylinder pressure gauge to check for pressure.
He's low on air.
Okay. We like to use a 50% rule. If he's 50% or less on air, we'll do a changeover. We're going to do the regulator swap. One rescuer on the facepiece side will have the rescue pack regulator in hand. The second rescuer will put pressure on the facepiece to hold the seal, put his hand over the victim's regulator.
You ready? Ready.
After any regulator swap, we have to get our ears right down to that facepiece to check to make sure that that victim was able to purge the regulator and get air.
He's breathing.
Good. Okay, at this point, we need to prepare the victim for a drag, so we will convert the waist belt. Rescuer will pick the leg up, disconnect the waist strap, reconnect, drop the leg, then we will snug up all the straps. Next, we need to secure the rescue pack to the victim. What we like to use in RAP intervention is the large carabiners. The smaller carabiners are very hard to grab straps. They usually have a side gate that opens up off to the side to give us a nice big opening. So what we will do is take the carabiner, snap it off to the rescue pack, and then snap the carabiner off to the victim's straps. Now when we go to do our drag, the air pack will stay with the body, not fall off to the side, possibly pulling the facepiece off of the victim. The next changeover procedure we're going to cover is the UAC, or Universal Air Connection. Steve, can you explain us what the UAC is?
Sure, Chief. Back in 2002, the NFPA revised the 1981 standard and added this device to all air packs. Basically what it does, it allows us to provide an external source of air to a downed firefighter through this connection. With that being said, let me explain a little more about the UAC. The UAC is a one-way valve. It is designed to allow air to come in from an external source, but it will not allow air to escape from the victim's pack. Basically what we do, we have a high pressure system here. It's 4,500 psi. The rescuer would come in, he would find the universal air connection. He will grasp the nipple on the universal air connection, and basically what he does is connect both hands, and that allows it to be connected. You can hear the audible click when it is connected, and it's very easy to hear. An important fact with this is you have to remember pressure doesn't equal volume here. If we happen to have a 60-minute cylinder in our RIT pack and he happens to be wearing a 45-minute cylinder, you have 90 cubic feet of air versus 66 cubic feet. All that happens here is pressure's equalized, not volume. So we have to be aware that we're not necessarily giving them a full pack, but we are equalizing pressures. No different than with your cascade system.
Now we'll have the rescuer demonstrate to us the universal air connection fitting.
All right, basically what we do is we grab the nipple with one hand and we grasp the wand, the high pressure wand, with the other. If you place both hands together at the same time, it's a really easy method to get that UAC to snap in. And as you heard there, you hear an audible click. At this point, now you would want to turn on your cylinder valve. And when you turn your cylinder valve on, remember we're dealing with high pressures here. So you want to turn the cylinder valve on very slowly. Remember, it's just like filling a cascade system. We don't want to dump the air all at once for safety purposes and to get the maximum amount of air in that we can. Another key point, Chief, that we need to remember is this is designed for emergency use only. The UAC is not designed for somebody to run out of a fire that's low on air and want to get back in a fire and charge their system quickly. It's designed for emergency use only, and when you train with this, you should train not using air. Just practice making the hookup. That way you're not stressing the bottles and the rest of the system.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to talk about 3 pieces of equipment that the rapid intervention team should carry. First one is webbing. We should all carry webbing. A good way to protect it is roll it up and then cover it up with a latex first responder glove. That way when we pull it out of our pocket, we can simply peel the glove, grab the end, and simply roll the webbing out to deploy it. Now we can simply create a girth hitch for a drag. The second piece of webbing is the mast tool or sling link. This is a color-coded piece of equipment. Reds slide up the legs, the yellows will slide over the arms, and the green slides behind the head. And then we simply use this as a dragging device. This also may be used for a lowering device. It is a rated harness that we could use to lower a firefighter off of a roof or up through a hole in the floor. Finally, the most important piece of equipment that we can carry is our wire cutters. Everybody should carry wire cutters, not only to protect yourselves, to cut yourselves out of a wire entanglement, but we all need to carry wire cutters to free the firefighter. If we crawl up on a firefighter victim and he's entangling wires, we need to be able to cut the victim free. I'm Jim Crawford. Thanks for watching Training.